Randomly, our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle. License plate, that's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
Jamie Foxx said out of his mouth that his partner handed him an Advil, and after he took that Advil, he woke up 22.
The internet said that Puffy tried to I left them parties early. I was out by 9, something right. It's slippery in here.
Well, I hang with P. Diddy, a lot, man. Sean, Puffy Combs. And we hang out, man. I mean, we party, and I call him Black Gatsby, man.
Is the one that called the FBI on. The whole time when Jamie was out for the industry insiders.
Celebrity bodyguard Big Homie CeCe has made explosive claims during a recent interview with Piers Morgan, revealing a dark and dangerous side of the entertainment world. According to him, someone actually tried to blow him up just to stop him from speaking out. He alleges that people connected to Diddy attempted to sabotage his car in a crash scheme, and when that failed, they allegedly tried to poison him, leaving him with severe, pneumonia-like symptoms. Even more disturbing, he claims that Diddy may have used the same poisoning tactic on others who mysteriously died from pneumonia. But the revelations don't stop there. Big Homie also referenced long-standing rumors that other individuals may have been targeted in similar ways. He shared that every time he previously attempted to schedule this interview with Piers Morgan, something would happen to silence him, sometimes almost fatally.
They didn't want me to do this interview. I'm somebody where I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life.
What makes these claims even more unsettling is that Big Homie isn't just another fame-seeking whistleblower. He's not spreading gossip about Diddy's personal life or sexuality. In fact, he left the celebrity world entirely and now works with an anti-human trafficking organization focused on rescuing women and children. Perhaps the most chilling part of his story is the claim that Diddy isn't even the top of the hierarchy. According to Big Homie, there are far more powerful and dangerous individuals operating from the shadows, people who truly call the shots. His interview is less of a tell-all and more of a warning, shedding light on a hidden world that most people never see.
150,000+ children come across the border and are unaccounted for. They're not with proper authorities. They are with cartels. They are with criminal organizations. They are getting sex trafficked. It's the business.
If you're not familiar with Big Homie CeCe, he's a former celebrity bodyguard and successful entrepreneur who came up from the streets of Chicago. Over the years, he built a solid reputation by working with some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. But after witnessing disturbing and deeply unsettling things behind the scenes, he made the bold decision to walk away from that world entirely. Now, Big Homie has dedicated his life to exposing serious crimes, particularly those targeting the most vulnerable members of society. He has publicly claimed that there's a massive, high-level operation connected to the disappearance of thousands of people.
I converted my business to combat human last year, my team brought home 17 people, 4 children, 1 boy. And whenever these trials come about, the closer you get to the trial date, a lot of things start happening to remove people from the case that are going to strengthen the case for the prosecution.
And in his words, Diddy is just a small player in a much darker and more powerful network of individuals who are really in control. After stepping away from the celebrity world to focus on rescuing victims of trafficking and abuse, Big Homie CeCe began speaking out about everything he witnessed during his time working with high-profile stars. And if even a fraction of his claims are true, the situation with Diddy might be just the beginning, what he calls the tip of a much larger, darker iceberg.
Along this path, I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide. And, cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia on 3 occasions. And these problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about.
Following the launch of Diddy's trial earlier this month, Piers Morgan invited Big Homie for a sit-down interview, which finally aired on May 15th. But according to Big Homie, just making it to the interview nearly cost him his life. He says he was followed, almost forced into a car crash, and even claims the FBI warned him of an active threat against him.
But anemia and prescription drugs also played a role. Death was ruled accidental. A Los Angeles County coroner spokesman would not say what kind of drugs were involved in Murphy's death, but said they were all prescription medications.
But that wasn't the end of it. Big Homie revealed that shortly after he began speaking out about the dark truths hidden within the entertainment industry, he suddenly developed severe pneumonia-like symptoms, raising even more suspicion about the lengths some would go to in order to silence him. By now, anytime you hear the word pneumonia connected to people in Diddy's circle, it immediately raises serious red flags. Over the years, several individuals close to him have died under suspicious circumstances, yet their deaths were officially attributed to pneumonia.
Autopsy reveals that the daughter of Whitney Houston died from pneumonia. She died in similar circumstances as her mother, with her face immersed in water.
We have an update on the shocking death of Kim Porter. The model, actress, and longtime girlfriend, Sean Diddy Combs, died unexpectedly at the age of 46 yesterday, and there are reports that she was suffering from pneumonia and died of cardiac.
One high-profile case was Brittany Murphy, whose sudden passing was blamed on pneumonia, though anemia and a mix of prescription drugs were also listed as contributing factors. Even the autopsy report for Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina, listed her cause of death as lobar pneumonia, the very same condition that was also cited in the death of Kim Porter. The identical cause in both high-profile cases only adds to the growing list of eerie similarities and unanswered questions. It really makes you think, what are the odds that so many young, seemingly healthy individuals connected to Diddy have all died from pneumonia? It's more than just coincidence. Pneumonia is typically only life-threatening for the elderly or those with weakened immune systems, not vibrant young adults, and certainly not celebrities with access to top-tier medical care.
You clearly feel that Sean Combs, over the years, has made people disappear.
Right. Well, Pierce, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people timely meet their demise as soon as somebody else seems having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there's of course the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that maybe happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with one situation?
And yet, time and time again, we've seen people in Diddy's inner circle mysteriously pass away from pneumonia or pneumonia-like illnesses. That's far outside the norm and raises serious red flags. How does a treatable and often preventable illness manage to claim the lives of so many high-profile figures? When a pattern like this starts to form, it's hard not to wonder if there's something darker happening behind the scenes. So when Big Homie CC revealed that he too developed severe pneumonia-like symptoms after speaking out about Diddy and other powerful figures in the industry, it immediately set off alarm bells for those familiar with the disturbing history of similar cases. But the story takes an even more shocking turn. During the interview, Piers Morgan brought up the rumors surrounding Jamie Foxx and the claims that Diddy may have had a hand in the medical emergency that nearly killed him in 2023, just months before Cassie filed her lawsuit. Big Homie didn't shy away from the topic.
There have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix, he compared Combs to the devil, revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time, I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. I thought, have I gone to the wrong place? I looked up the end of a tunnel and I saw the devil saying, come on, or was that Puffy? I'm effing around, but if that was Puffy, at a flaming bottle of Johnson. And no, I'm just kidding. I think that you have taken that to be a oblique reference to the fact that he's suggesting he may too have been poisoned.
Jamie Foxx said out of his mouth that his partner handed him an Advil, and after he took that Advil, he woke up 22 days later. That's what he said out of his mouth. I feel like us as a species, I feel like human cynicism has become a virus because they don't trust the words of our peers. Where are we as a species? You know, eyewitness testimony and circumstantial evidence is enough to get a person a life sentence in any court on the earth. Why is it that when people are whistleblowing and putting their life and livelihood on the line, they receive so much scrutiny.
He pointed out that Jamie himself had subtly hinted that Diddy might have been involved in his mysterious health crisis, one that reportedly left him in a coma and fighting for his life. The timing, the silence, and the vague explanations surrounding Jamie's condition have only fueled more suspicion.
Why would Diddy want to poison Jamie Foxx?
If you know that you have, well, just to give some insight to people watching, when you under federal investigation, they send you a target letter. You know, you get informed that you're being investigated. So if you wanted to tie up loose ends and you were concerned that people that you knew could incriminate you, you may be interested in eliminating them. We've seen this all throughout history.
When asked why he believes Diddy would go as far as allegedly trying to poison Jamie Foxx, Big Homie pointed to the timeline. He explained that Jamie's mysterious medical emergency occurred not long after Diddy was reportedly notified that he was under federal investigation. According to Big Homie, the timing wasn't just suspicious, it was strategic. He suggested that Jamie may have known too much or been seen as a potential threat, making him a target in an effort to silence or discredit him before anything could surface. Piers Morgan pointed out that this is the kind of move you'd expect from the mafia. That's when Big Homie subtly revealed that Diddy might just be a middleman in all of this. He hinted that far more powerful figures are actually the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Definitely speaking from experience, this is definitely a dangerous situation because this guy was the middleman. He was the party guy. He was the person who lined up the parties and festivities for a lot of guys a lot more wealthy and affluent than him. So, you know, I'm a person who believes that the Epstein's list is very similar to Diddy's list. I'm a believer in that. And, you know, whenever it comes to protecting women and children, I'm going to be fierce. Us as men, we must learn to police ourselves in our community because if not, these type of activities will continue to run rampant. I know this situation is dangerous. I had several attempts on my life throughout my career. And, you know, where there's one dangerous guy, there's a group. Oftentimes in my culture, being an African-American male, sometimes we can believe that we're bigger than the program. And the moment he decided to sue the liquor company, Diageo, that's when all of the onset of these problems started. You know, when you offend a list of board of directors and all of them richer than you can get the short end of the stick. And that's what we're watching happen here.
According to Big Homie, when Diddy became too much of a liability, those at the top decided to use him as a scapegoat. Big Homie made it clear that this isn't just speculation. He's speaking from experience. Ever since Diddy's trial began, Jamie Foxx has stayed completely silent. After hinting in his comedy special last year that Diddy was the devil, he hasn't spoken a word about any of this. But here's where things get even sketchier. Back in December, while celebrating his 57th birthday, Jamie got involved in an altercation at a Beverly Hills restaurant. The next day, he posted another cryptic message about the devil and referenced his Netflix special where he had mentioned Diddy. Many began speculating that the restaurant incident was actually a warning from Diddy, sending a clear message through this bizarre altercation. In case you missed it, Jamie Foxx opened up in his special about the terrifying medical emergency he endured in April 2023.
I thought I saw the devil like, come on. Was that Puffy? But if it was Puffy, he had like a flaming bottle of Johnson & no.
He revealed that he suffered a brain bleed, which led to a stroke. He was in a coma for weeks and lost 20 days of memory. In typical Jamie fashion, he also made a joke about seeing Puff, aka the devil, at the end of the tunnel, adding a chilling twist to his near-death experience. Fans are starting to call something shady, especially when you consider that just months before Jamie's special dropped on Netflix, several people who attended the live taping swore that he actually told the audience Diddy had tried to poison him. One of the people who came forward was Choke No Joke, who told Comedy Hype that during the taping, Jamie didn't just hint at Diddy's involvement, he flat out said Diddy was behind what happened.
I know what you're thinking, Diddy. Hell no, I left them parties early.
Choke No Joke firmly insisted that he clearly heard Jamie say Diddy tried to poison him during the taping. He also claimed that Jamie made significant edits to the final cut of his special, effectively removing most of what he originally said about Diddy. Choke suggested that Jamie probably started to worry about getting pulled into Diddy's legal drama and possibly even having to testify. But that's not where the story ends. Now, with big homie Cece stepping forward and claiming he was poisoned multiple times, it really makes you question how often things like this happen behind the scenes in the entertainment industry.
And I asked my boy for an aspirin. And I real quickly that when you in a medical emergency, your boys don't know what to do. The cool doctor with the Lakers, white dude, said, listen, he's having the brain bleed that led to a stroke. And if I don't go in his head right now, lose it. We didn't find where it was coming from. But he is having it.
Could there be more to those mysterious medical emergencies that have taken out celebs in such suspicious ways? So, what do you think about Big Homie's interview with Piers Morgan and his claims that Diddy has been allegedly poisoning people for years?
Some type of pill or something that knocked him out. But it all was alleged connected back to Diddy, right? Because something happened with Diddy and Jamie. Now, more recently, Jamie has a special out on Netflix called What Had Really Happened Was. And I went to the taping of it. It was 3-day taping. I went to the first show, I went to the last show. Okay. Jamie Foxx states in this, spoiler alert, but Jamie Foxx in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
So it's gotta be a joke though.
I don't think he was joking. Y'all can determine was he joking or not when see the show, because to me, I'm a new comedian, right? I've learned I know when somebody's setting up a punchline, and I know when you're serious. And he said it. I called it, and I'm the one that, he said, Diddy, is the one that did something to me or whatever. And I'm not going to, I don't want to give away his jokes or nothing, but after he said Diddy did something to me, he said, and I'm the one that called the feds. So everybody out here that's talking about DI, this and other, better go back and think of when that happened to Jamie and start looking at the chain of events.
And what about the idea that Diddy might just be a pawn in a much larger game, with even more powerful figures pulling the strings? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you don't miss the next deep dive.